there, good morning. Just setting up the timer. Alright. So, what I have on my on the easel here, these are like, every once in a while I like to do like a perspective. A lot of people call it forced perspective, I guess, because you're staying within the guidelines of like vanishing points and so on and so forth. But I make these little rigs for me because I just find it to be a lot easier. I know that there are way more people out there that can easily just draw the vanishing points every time to where they want to go. So just for somebody who wants to learn something, this thing here costs like $10, $15. I mean, I found it making scraps, but it's basically a 24-inch piece of wood that I usually try to mask off or try to make it a little bit smaller to make it easier. That's a vanishing point at the top. So this is a 3-point perspective style drawing. So what I do is, this is an old tube that basically a poster came in, or I think it was a roll of fabric. I screw these sticks here come from Harbor Freight. I think they're 40 inches, which is a weird size actually. But so it's a little bit bigger than a yardstick. It has a hole already pre-drilled in it. You just screw it into the end here, wherever you want your vanishing point. Now this tube, I can move up and down within this space right here, and just secure it down here. This is just like I said, for painting. It's not necessarily the best invention in the world, but for me it works out great because while I'm painting, I can come in and like for instance right here, I just started adding a small porch. You really can't see that. I'm not going to go into zooming in and stuff just for this example. We'll talk about it another time. But like I just come in and these work. I have all my lines, really ready for me to go, and it makes it so much easier. I don't have a drafting table, nor do I have the space for it. But with this little rig, I can unscrew it when I want to paint. Boom, I come in, I have a straight line. On this side, I actually have another ruler glued on to the bottom, just so I have a nice straight edge. This is actually an old stretcher bar. So you can really make something like this and have a semi-accurate guideline. If you really are going to come back and you want to really make those lines really strong, or you want to go some crazy styles, it's really fun too. To be able to move these up and down, move the vanishing point in left and right. I haven't tried doing anything like cockeyed yet. That's actually something I just thought of now, that maybe turning the vanishing points like this and really making something a little bit crazy looking. That just gave me an idea. I actually have to write that down, sorry. Yep, just leave a little note. Anyway, so that's all I wanted to talk about. One of my projects for today. That's about all I really wanted to show. What I'm actually working on this today. Have some other stuff that I'm working on all the time. But again, I just wanted to talk a little bit about art. For me, art is a way of getting rid of any kind of I can't say it gets rid of bad days, but you have a bad day, if you can kind of get to your space to go out and create. It's been a great escape tool for me. I'm lucky to have somebody behind me that supports me painting, because otherwise I'd lose it if I had to go back out there and do something normal again. Like I say normal, but for me this is normal now. I love to paint and create every day. And the other concept that I want to show is that you can do a lot of things by recycling. And by also using things that are around you. You don't have to necessarily use the best paint all the time. I use the Oops rack. Now they're getting a little bit pricey. It's almost like all of a sudden they've gotten wise, or maybe too many people were buying or trying to screw them over or what. They used to be able to get about a gallon of paint down at Home Depot for about $5 or $10. Now they're charging like $12, still cheaper than the actual gallon price. Lowe's is a little bit cheaper. That's just by nature. I just use it a lot, so I know where they're a little bit cheaper. You can get a gallon for $5. So you just think about even what color it is. Ignore the color. What's great about that is when you're starting out, you don't need to go out and get the gesso. You do not need to get it in the beginning. Until you start really creating paintings that you think you're going to start to sell, or that you think you want to bring to a certain level, then I guess you could use gesso. But by using 2 layers of a household paint, okay. Oopsie daisy. Okay. I mean, I have gallons. Ooh, look at that. Man, what a jackass. Who that was. Oh well. Yep. So anyway, how the hell is that going doing? Oh, the easels. My easel leg has kicked a little bit there. Okay. Alright, so anyway, I use this. I'm not trying to endorse them. I use this. This is what it is. It's Dutch Boy household paint. Boom. The only thing I will tell you, if it's eggshell or if it's or satin or gloss, I would always lean towards your pastel colors or your pastel, like eggshell, flat, because they will take the next layer of paint a little bit easier depending on what project you're trying to do. With the semi-gloss, I noticed that happens is when you try to put the paint down, it's over, it's going to just slide and glaze like over, almost if you're painting over polyurethane. It's almost going to need 2 coats of paint. So just be aware of that if it's going to affect you. But I mean, right here now, this here versus gesso, I pay $5–10 for this. I can prime 20 or 30 paintings. I mean, it just makes sense, you know. It's durable. Some of these things are made for the bathroom, so you know they're going to hold off the moisture. I don't even use canvas all the time, you know, unless it's for a client or somebody actually wants, you know, is purchasing a painting specifically, like commission. Then I go out and I use the best materials I possibly can. If they're just buying a painting that I've made, I've used sheets, I've used canvas, I've used drop cloths, I've used everything you can imagine. Any kind of, first off, you get some cool paintings out of it. I did a painting, oh, I will say this though, painting on velvet, or not velvet, boys, you know, that name is escaping me, felt. Like the green felt, oh god, it's horrible. It doesn't paint. It just doesn't paint. But I've painted on velour, everything. Like, it's fun. You get some weird, cool textures out of it. Sometimes the green, like I painted on a cotton sheet. I just thought cotton fabric would be fine. And all these little balls came up. So again, it's about experimenting. You know, I've used old t-shirts over small frames. Just try it out. Who knows? You start with a logo and then enhance it, and then you get a new cool painting. There's stuff all around you. And you don't have to have the best of the best of the best all the time. That's what I'm focusing on. This whole series of mine is not necessarily just all high-end stuff. Sometimes this painting here is the craft paint. You can go down to AC Moore. You can buy these little tubes of paint like this, necessarily called craft paint. What I do is I use this craft paint as my primer. This is just a prime painting so that I can keep drawing over it. I prime with these, and then I go over it with my acrylics. So I can get most of the color foundation down, some cool, like ideas where I'm going to go with it, and then I just come in and follow up with the acrylic, and now I know I have a good strong surface on there that's going to be good, and it also makes it a little bit brighter. These do dry flat or chalky, I guess you could say. But I do follow up with polyurethane over everything, so it kind of like makes it a little bit easier for me to brush on the next layer. But look around your house, find stuff to use. Here's another example. Alright, I got about a minute and a half, right? Okay, so it's not done yet, but it's an orange juice container. Okay? Oops, sorry. It's an orange juice container. Simply with the little button you got there, orange juice container. I had a piece of red fabric around. This is spray foam in a can that was in a basement, and I cut pieces out and it gets you these odd shapes, makes the beard. A piece of foam packing from a electronic device, like the foam that comes in there, just like it separates the pieces so it doesn't get bounced around. This is the water plug from your water spout from a 2-gallon jug. I mean, yes, the eyes I have, I'm a weirdo, I'm an artist. I got these plastic eyes at the dollar store for different sizes and stuff, just for stuff like this. Boom. Now I'm in the search in the house for something like a ball. I don't need a traditional ball. You can go buy one at AC Moore and cheese out. That's $1, $52. I'd rather find something around the house that's pretty cool that I can tie this thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be round, but it gives the illusion of it's a hat on the ball. But fun. What does this take me? 2-3 hours tops to make, and it's fun and it's ridiculous. And someone would like this. I like this. I think I'm going to keep it. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope you have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right? Thanks for tuning in.